International law per se isn't really a threat to Americans, but recently the state of Oklahoma, the citizens in that state adopted a referendum barring their judges from considering international law and making decisions. And that ballot measure passed by an overwhelming majority. So one has to say that at least some citizens in the United States see international law as undemocratic or a constraint on American policy that threatens them. Why is that? No doubt economically, globalization is terrifying to many people, to see jobs outsourced, to see products that used to be made in the United States made abroad. But at the same time, the story that's not being told is how international law helps the United States and how historically international law was one of the founding elements of our constitutional structure. And in fact, Article 6 of the Constitution, the Supremacy Clause, makes international law part of the supreme law of the land. So Americans have traditionally seen international law as helping them when they were a small state breaking away from a larger empire, breaking away from England. But now Americans are afraid, I think, more of globalization than of the law itself. And so I think international law has become a bit of a whipping boy for the ills that are being felt because of globalization. The entire post-World War II framework of modern international law is, if not an American creation, at least American-inspired and American-driven. The United Nations Conference was held in San Francisco. The United States' role at Nuremberg was pivotal. The United States, unlike the United Kingdom, felt it was critical to hold trials of the Nazis rather than summary executions or just disposing of them by imprisonment. And the reason was, as Justice Jackson put it during the war, right as it was coming to an end, was we have to establish incredible events by credible evidence. We have to bow, if you like, to reason. Even though we've conquered them, it's not going to help if we treat them the way we did after World War I, with reprisals and with reparations, which then led to the kind of economic devastation in Germany that allowed Hitler to come back to power, you see. And so there was a sense that we had to do things differently, and the rule of law was something uniquely American that Americans could bring to the table. And ironically now, the shift has gone from the United States as the champion of the international rule of law to Europe as the champion of the international rule of law. But as I like to remind my European friends and my students in the United States, these are very quintessentially American ideas.